been when you are living from that place? All the stories about Savior and all that stuff, my friends, came 40 to 70 years later. It came 40 to 70 years after he died. And it was all amplified to make Isaiah look good in the Old Testament. That could be a whole other talk. But the stories were made up. So we don't have to question anymore whether they were true or not. They're made up stories. There's a whole lot of symbolism about the star is the guide for all of us. And the baby is the new creation being born. There's all kinds of metaphysical layering. But keep in mind that what we can tell is this man that we call Jesus was a real man who had a wonderful teaching. And he said, greater things than these shall you do. So that's our message, that we can take that in. Love, bless, and do good. The same consciousness is within us to the degree that we open up and know that it's there. So I want to just kind of let that be the heavy part. Oh my gosh, you're making me think too much on Christmas morning. Becoming a Christ is kind of like becoming a Santa. So we'll just lighten this up right over here. Becoming a Santa. There's a story that's been floating around on Facebook. Some of you probably heard it. And it was what to do when your children start to go, is this Santa Claus thing real? You know, you can, if you're a parent, you kind of know, probably around 8 years old, maybe 7, maybe 9, but somewhere on there they start to question it. They start to look for evidence that Santa isn't real. And this one mother has a brilliant idea of how she does this. So she senses that her son is starting to question that. So she takes him out one day to, she says, a coffee shop, get the kids some hot cocoa, and she sits down and she's going to have the talk with him. And she says to him, basically, I see how much you've grown this year. You're really growing up. And I see how much your heart has grown this year. And because your heart is growing so much, it's time for you to learn this story. So she proceeds to tell him, she says, you look around and you see different people dressed up as Santa. And they are all becoming and being Santa. Here's what you do if you want to become a Santa. It's time for you. The kid is looking like, what? Here's what you do. You find somebody who might seem to need something. Maybe there's something that somebody needs. You have to find that person without them knowing. You have to see what they need without them knowing. You want to buy the present, and then you want to give it to them without them knowing. The whole thing has to be completely anonymous. And the kid's getting excited the whole time. Wow, okay, this sounds like a fun game. And then you have to do that. The kid said, okay. So the kid goes home, and apparently he was just looking in his own neighborhood, because, it's kind of how a kid's world is like right there, right? He sees the lady across the street who the neighborhood says she's the old witch of the neighborhood. Not a very nice lady. She's got a fence around her yard, and if the kids' balls go over the fence, she doesn't let them come in and get them, and not very nice of her. So the kid decides to pick her. And so he was watching. He'll walk by, and he'll see her in the morning, and she's coming out barefoot to pick up her paper every day. And he noticed day after day after day, he would hide behind the bushes, and he would notice. And so then, okay, Mom, I pick her. I think she needs some slippers. Okay, you gotta go find out what size foot she has. So same thing, he spends a couple of days looking and trying to see her bare feet out there. He's thinking, oh, she's really cold, so you gotta get her some slippers. So he gets the slippers, he wraps the box up, and one morning before she came out, he put the box out on the front porch. And the lady comes out, and there's a present there. So she opens the present, and the kid is hiding, and he's watching, and she opens up the present, and here's these slippers, and he said the look changed on her face. Her look turned to a look of joy, that somebody would give her this anonymous present. And the kid was beside himself at that whole idea. Mom, look at her, she's smiling, she has joy on her face. And so he was really excited. So she said, okay, honey, now this is what we want to continue year after year. You don't get to tell your little brother yet. And sort of in a conspiratorial tone, keep a secret from your little brother. But you now have become Santa. It was not a lie that way. It's just letting him know that all this anonymous stuff running around, the reason that we didn't let you know who Santa was until now is you weren't ready. But now you are. And now you're a Santa. And so apparently it went on for a number of years. And when it was time for the next generation, the little brother, to come up and learn the whole story about Santa, the big brother got to go to the coffee shop and be part of the talk. about now you get to become a Santa too. Sweet. What a sweet story that is. So whether we call it being a Santa, whether we call it being Christ, principle in all of us, we can all do that. We want to just open our hearts and let ourselves be the giver, be the Santa, be the Christ. I said I wasn't going to talk too long today, and I really meant it. So I just wish for you that you can experience that wonderful feeling of giving, that you can experience the Spirit within you, the Christ consciousness, that you have a beautiful holiday today, and that you have a beautiful new year. And let's pray. Praying is one of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves and others. And so we gather in this prayerful place, knowing that it carries a power that is greater than anything else we can ever do. It's a place of conscious awareness of the Spirit within us. And that's always where we begin. Breathing in and feeling the one source within us. Feeling our heartbeat, remembering it's the source of all life inside. Allowing love to bubble up. Allowing the joy of the season to bubble up. Connecting ourselves with the one Spirit. Connecting ourselves with all of humanity. Connecting ourselves with Mother Nature. Connecting ourselves with light. Fully aligning with that one truth. The love that we feel inside is the love of the divine. Feel it. Be it. The light within each one of us wants to shine bright. It is the light of the divine inside. I speak my word for all of us, knowing that the light shines brighter today and never goes out. That each day, each moment, each year, the light gets brighter and brighter. I know for each of us that we are willing and able to let it shine. Let us remember that no matter what we may go through in our life, that there is always this silent partner within us. There's always this bright light. Sometimes it may feel like a little tiny spark, but at any time, we can light it up. We can let the little spark be a big bright light. Let us be aware that the Christ consciousness, the awareness of God within us, is just as powerful today as it was over 2,000 years ago when Jesus walked this planet. Let him be an example to us. And today, let us celebrate his life. Let us celebrate his teachings. Let us celebrate what it all means. Let us celebrate family and friends coming together. And let us also remember that it doesn't have to be confined to one season. Anytime we want, we can share the same Christ-like, Christ consciousness, this holiday season of the feelings that we experience. So I know for each of us that we fill ourselves up with great love and great joy, and we give it in our own perfect, unique, special way in the world today and always. So with gratitude for the Christmas message, with gratitude for people all over the world today celebrating different festivities, different celebrations, I'm grateful for it all. I'm grateful for how it enriches our lives, and I'm grateful for how we enrich others. So with this holiday season firmly in our hearts, we'll just say thank you. Thank you for it all. Thank you for grace and love and joy. I say Merry Christmas. I say Happy New Year. And just let this prayer be. And so it is.
So it is.
All right, Dennis, hit it. I was ready to get to the song.
Oh, now it's time for